Okay, just as an FYI, while I'm running this game, I'll be referencing some documents. First off, I have the rulebook on my iPad here. I have this is a flow chart for determining the rooms and the corridors and what's in them. I have these little mini books that I printed. I think these came when you buy the core rulebook. They're just little reference guides for most of the charts that I'll be referencing. There's 2 of those. And then finally I have my 4 character sheets filled out. They're all level 1 with their abilities and spells. I probably won't be using this during the game, but when I'm done, I'll copy what map I have here on the big table onto this and then scan this document so you guys can download it and check it out. All right, so I'm about ready to start the game, and let me just get a few things rounded up and we'll get going. All right, it's time to roll up the starting room. You basically roll a d6. I rolled a 5. Which corresponds to that one right there. So I'm going to start in the middle, go up. All right, so we will start with this one, and then we'll see where we go. So what you do is you basically just place your miniatures in marching order, since this is sort of a corridor. I have a barbarian, a cleric, a thief, and a wizard, bringing up the rear. All right, next I need to pick a corridor. So you know what, let's just do the one on the right. So for this, you roll 2 d6s, and actually I'll roll a red and a black. The red is the first digit, so this corresponds to a 1 and a 2, so 12. So it goes door, corridor, door. So I found a door, and 1, 2, 3, and a door. This is a corridor. And then what you do is you have to roll to see what's in there. So I'm just following this spreadsheet. I rolled 1 d6 for the rooms, then rolled 2 d6 on the room contents table. Now, a corridor is treated as a room. So again, I'm going to roll 2 d6 and add the results. So 6 and 2 is 8. So basically I consult here on an 8. Now it says if a corridor, you do what's on this side. If it's a room, you do over here. So if it's a corridor and I roll an 8, it's empty. So it's safe to move into. But I can search it if I want to. So I am going to move the barbarian in, cleric, thief, and the wizard. Now I have to decide if I want to search this hallway. At this early in the game, I'm not wanting to do that. So now I have a door. I'm going to go ahead and go through that door. So this is my marching order, and that's important because if I find a monster in here that I don't want to fight, I can choose to back out slowly. They'll only get an attack on the man in front. So let's go ahead and roll to see what it is. Again, I'm rolling red for high, and I rolled a 6-3. So come back here, and a 6-3 is another quarter with 2 doors. Now here's an interesting one. This is going to be pushing it closer to the edge. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's a door here and a door here, and then it goes up 2 and 2. You're allowed to sort of fudge the map to make it fit the way you want, and that's probably what I'm going to end up having to do here. So I'm just going to have them keep moving forward, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to choose this door going this way. So again, I roll to see what it is. A 22, a 2-2, which is, it's a room with a bunch of doors. So if you can't make it fit, you treat it as a dead end. So they're coming in here. It's a 3x3, which comes in 1, and it's a 3x3, which will fit. But unfortunately, let's see. I guess I can put a door right here, but there won't be one on this back here since there's no place to go. And now I'm in a room, so I roll to see the contents. Consulting my spreadsheet here, a 3, you add them. If it's a room and I roll a 3, roll d6 on the trap table. This is roll on traps and treasure. Ooh, I'm glad I checked that. So there'll be a trap and a treasure. All right, here's a trap table. I roll a d6. Where does it see? Traps table, d6. It is a 1. It is a dart, a level 2 attack against a random character. So I'm gonna take notes in here. It is a dart level 2. Since the characters are all considered to be in the room, let's see who takes the hit. So I'm going to do, my standard order is Barbarian, Cleric, Thief, Wizard. I'm going to roll a d6. I should get a d4, but I don't have access to one right now. And if I roll a 5 or 6, I'll just re-roll. So I rolled a 2, so it's the Cleric. Okay, so it is a dart level 2, and my Cleric is going to have to make that roll. The way defense rolls work is you roll a d6 and you add any modifiers. He's wearing light armor, which adds +1 to all defense rolls. And you have to roll above the number or higher. So this is a dart level 2. So I need to roll a 2 or higher. A 1 on a die is always an automatic failure. So even if I roll a 1 and add my modifier to get the 2, it doesn't matter. I still fail the roll. So I need to roll a 2 or higher. I rolled a 3. So I avoided the dart. And now what I get to do is I get to roll on the treasure table, which I have in a small little book here. Treasure table, I roll a d6. And then, of course, some of these tables reference bigger tables. So let's roll just a d6. I rolled a 5. I get 1 item of jewelry worth 3d6 times 10. So let's roll 3d6 times 10. 6, 10 times 10, 100. I just found 100 gold jewelry. All right, so I'm going to write that down in my notes here. If I had rolled a 6, I would have gotten to roll on the magic treasure, which is like magic weapons, magic armor, that kind of stuff. But I'll take the gold. That's fine. All right, so there is a door here, so I'm going to go ahead and, by the way, if I had failed that roll, I would have taken 1 health of damage. My cleric only has 5 health, so that would have hurt. All right, so next I'm going to go through this door, so let me roll and see. Red is high, so I rolled a 66, which corresponds to this funny looking room, which I can do, by the way. I can fit that in here. The rules state that when your new room interferes with a hallway, if you can't make it work, just treat the hallway as a dead end. I'm going to go ahead and move this in, and you can alter the room's dimensions a little bit. Like I could make this 1 square instead of 2 going in. So in order to make that work, I'm going to do that. I'm going to draw it like this. And there's a door going up here, so I'm going to draw that in. And so I've encountered a new room. The way the dungeon works is you move them all. They're all in. So now I have to roll for the contents of that room, and I roll and add these together. I rolled a 47. If it's a room, I'm going to roll on the minions table, and if I win the fight, I get to roll on the treasure table. Minions are not that powerful. You don't want to fight bosses this early in the game. And minions give you XP, whereas vermin do not. So here's the minions table. It says roll a d6. I rolled a 3. I am going to be fighting hobgoblins, and I roll a d6 to determine how many. I'm going to fight 3 hobgoblins. They are level 4. So you have to roll 4 or higher to hit them. They are a treasure +1 roll, so I'll get to add 1 to the treasure roll. And they have a reaction. I rolled a 6. They're going to fight to the death, so they are not going to run away. All right, I have 3 miniatures just to represent their number. These are quite large, so I can't fit them all in the room, but this is more just visual, letting me know how many creatures I'm fighting. Now remember, they're level 4, so I'm going to need to roll high. Now, when you enter a room and there's monsters, you have to decide right away. Are you going to attack, or are you going to not attack and see what they do? Now, I already know that they're going to fight to the death, so they're not going to play around. So it looks like I'm going to have to enter combat with them. I get an attack on all of them. I have no bows or slings, so they're not going to get a surprise combat. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to take my Barbarian and engage one. Now, the interesting thing with the Barbarian is he has a rage attack, but I'm not going to use that too early in the game. He can only do it once per session. So I'm going to go ahead and roll for 4 or higher on a die. I rolled a 4. So the way this works is 1 hit equals 1 death on a minion. So 1 minion is down. Next will be my cleric, who has a mace, which is crushing, and I don't know if these guys don't have any notes about crushing versus slashing, so I think it's a 1-to-1. And rather than hunt that up, I'm just going to go ahead and assume it, and I'll check that rule later. But I'm going to go ahead and have my cleric fight 1. And again, no modifier here, but just 4 higher. I rolled a 2, so they missed. And the thief has a special ability. The thief has +1 when the party outnumbers the number of enemies. It's like he's sneaking around back. So I'm going to take that +1. Has a light weapon, which a light weapon does something unusual. Let's see. Light weapon, light hand weapon. A light weapon gives the user a -1 on attack roll. So the -1 balances with the +1, so he's just trying to roll a 4 or higher. He rolled a 5. That is another one dead. The wizard has 3 spells: Fireball, Sleep, and Lightning. When the wizard casts a spell, there's an unusual rule for it. All right, so he's just going to cast the spell. Lightning. Spell works like an attack roll. Wizard adds his level to the roll. Okay, so I do add my level to the roll. I was thinking that I did that. All right, so I'm adding +1 to the roll, and it says against a group of minions, the spell will kill 1 if it hits. So I just need a 3 or higher. I rolled a 1. So the wizard missed. Now, the minions will attack. Yeah, it's like the wizard will hide behind the fighter, and the thief will hide behind the cleric, and the fighter steps out and is going to take the hit. Now, the fighter is +1 defense, and it's a level 4. I'm rolling. You assume that the monster automatically hits, and now I've just got to roll my defense roll. His defense is +1. It's a level 4, so I've got to roll a 3 or higher, and I rolled a 6. So he definitely does not take a hit. Now it reverts to me. I'm going to have him right back attack. He's using a hand weapon, so he gets no bonus, but he does get the +1 because of his level, so I need a 3 or higher. I rolled a 6, so he is dead. And then I get to go roll on the treasure table again. Roll a d6. I rolled a 3 again, which is a scroll with a random spell. Okay, on page 49 are the spells. There are 6 of them. So I'll just roll a d6 and go down the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I rolled a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sleep. So I have a scroll of sleep. And scrolls can be used by anyone except for the Barbarian. And you can sell them. I don't remember what you can sell them for, but I'll have to look up that. Defeated the hobgoblins. And you track how many, that is a set of minions. It's not 3 minions, it's 1 group of minions. And you keep track of how many you fight. And when you defeat 10 groups of minions, you get an XP point. An XP point can be used by any of your characters. They have to level up at the same rate. So you can't do like 1 to level 3 while the others remain level 1. You got to keep them sort of even. And what the XP 1 does, it allows you to roll a die. So what you do is you roll a d6, and as long as you don't roll under your current level, you level up. So if you're a level 1, it's sort of automatic, right? If you're a level 2, you have to roll a 2 or higher. If you're a level 3, you have to roll a 3 or higher. And then, of course, when you get to like level 4, it's getting harder to level up. Does that make sense? All right, so I'll save. I haven't got any XP yet, but I just defeated 1 group of minions. All right, so there is a room here, or a door. Let's see where it goes to. And red is high. I roll a 4-3. 4-3 corresponds to just another room. The hallway is in the middle. I can't really force that, but I can force it like this, and there is a door, 4-3. There's another door right here. And what I can do to make it work with this corridor, I can add a door here. You're allowed to sort of just tweak it to make it work the way you want. They have moved into this room. Let's see what's in there. 2d6, I add these. 4. On a room of 4 is roll on a special event table. Oh, here it is, special events table. Again, roll a d6. I rolled a 2, which is a wandering monster attacks the party. Roll d6. On a 1 to 3, it's vermin. On a 4, it's minion. On a 5, it's a weird monster. On a 6, it's a boss. Reroll any small dragons. A boss monster met as a wandering monster has no chance of being the final boss. Speaking of final boss, the way this game ends is when you encounter a final boss, and there are rules that force that to happen. But it's telling me this will not be the final boss. So, but it could still be a boss. You can have multiple bosses in a room. So what I need to do is roll a d6 and see what I've got in here. I rolled a 6. I've got a boss. I may back out of this room slowly. And monsters in this game do not follow you. You can back out and go back the way you came. So let's see. Let's roll on the boss table and see what I got. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Boss table, another D6. You don't want to roll a 6 because that's a dragon. And I rolled a 1, which is a mummy, which is not what I really probably want to encounter, but we'll see. So I rolled a mummy, and a mummy is a level 5 undead, 4 health points. It gets 2 attacks, but its treasure roll is +2. Any character killed by a mummy becomes a mummy and must be fought by the party. Mummies are attacked at a +2 by the fireball spell. Mummies never test morale reaction. They always fight. Well, okay, I'm going to fight this mummy. I'll just get a mummy miniature. All right, so I'm going to fight this guy. With 4 versus 1, that's probably a pretty good idea that I can hurt him. I think at this point I'm going to use the Barbarian's Rage. Now the Rage, what it does is, if I hit a boss, it does 2 wounds. He's got 4 health, so I really need to wind him down. But also in a Rage, I roll 3d6, and I take the best roll. His level is 5. I get a +1 because of his level, so I'm hoping to roll a 4 or higher on one of these, and I did. I rolled 2 5s, so he hits, and he takes 2 hit points off of the mummy. Now, let's see if I can just finish this guy. I'm going to hold off on casting a fireball because I have a very limited number of spells. But what I can do is, because the mummy is undead, the cleric gets a bonus when fighting undead. Now, they add their level. Normally, they add half their level to the attack roll. So all I need to do with a +1, that's his level, is I need to roll a 4 or higher. And I rolled a 3, so I did not do it. So that did not work. I outnumber the enemy, so I'm going to use the rogue to attack. He gets +1, but it's balanced by the -1 light weapon. So I need to roll again a 5, and I rolled a 1. All right, looks like I'm going to have to fire a fireball. I'm going to use fireball, and it's level 5. I get to add my wizard level, so I need to roll a 4 or higher to get this thing off correctly. I rolled a 4, so that's only going to do 1 point of damage. So he's still got 1 point. So I'm going to have the Barbarian step up and take the hit. So he's level 5, so I have to roll. The Barbarian is +1 defense, so I need to roll a 4 or higher on this. I rolled a 3, so he's going to take a damage. Oh, he gets 2 attacks. Oh, so I just lost a point of health. He does 2 attacks, so he will attack. I'm going to choose the cleric. So cleric is also +1 defense, so I need to roll a 4 higher. I rolled a 3, so the cleric takes 1. And now my fighter will attack again. Fighter is I can only rage once per game, so I can't do that again. Fighter needs a 4 higher. I failed it. Cleric needs a 4. No. Yes, a 4 higher. I rolled a 6. That's enough to defeat the mummy. And that was a boss, so I get to check off 1 boss defeated. Bosses give XP automatically, so I'll get some XP rolls here. And you can use those immediately. So I'm going to double check that in the rules, but I'm pretty confident that's the case. So by defeating the mummy, it says I get +2 on a treasure roll. So I'm going to look at the treasure table and add +2 to this roll, which takes it to a 4, and I get 1 gem worth 2d6 times 5. 2d6, 4 times 5 is 20. So I found a gem worth 20 gold. Okay, one thing I forgot to do when I was fighting the boss is, anytime the boss drops below half their hit points, they drop to the next level. So he's a level 5, so when he hit 2 hit points, he should have gone down to level 4, which I believe one of my characters rolled a 3. With their modifier +1, they would have hit. But it doesn't matter. I only took 1. Each of my cleric and my barbarian each took a hit. I would have had to roll lower because his level would have been lower. He would have had a lower defense value of 4. But I'm not concerned about it. I'm just going to keep the damage as it is. Now, because I defeated a boss, I get to level up a character. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. You can apply it to any of them. But I'm going to level up my wizard. The wizard only has 3 health points. So when you level up, the wizard gets another spell. So I'll have 4 spells that I can use. The wizard also gains an extra health point, which is much needed. All right, so I'm going to stop here. These videos where I play this game are going to be short and sweet. Well, short's a relative term. You could see this could take an hour or more. They say it goes much quicker once you really have a handle on the rules, and what I'm finding is I'm having to reference the rules quite a bit. So what I'm going to do after I play this, or after I shut this down, is I'm going to go back and reread the rules again. And every time I play, I'm probably going to reread the rules, because there's a lot of, it's not a lot of rules, it's not a complex game, but there are a lot of little finicky rules, like that boss rule that I just totally blanked on. That could have saved my bacon if I was down to like 1 health point and I didn't know, and I had forgotten that. So it's kind of important to know all the rules. This is my first time playing it for you, so I'm going to make mistakes. If you spot a mistake, feel free to post it in the comments. I'm just going to keep going. If I make a mistake, I live with it and I just keep going, but I fix the error if I understand what error I made. So I hope you're starting to enjoy this. I've only explored 3 rooms and a corridor, and I've already killed a boss, some minions, and gotten some treasure. So this is turning out really fun. I'll come back. I'll try to do this weekly. I'd like to do it twice a week. We'll see. I'm going to leave this sitting out. I will copy this map to my sheet here. I'll clean it up for you, and I'll level up the wizard and everything, and then I'll scan this so that you can see what I'm working with. And I hope you'll join me on the next episode. And this game is called 4 Against Darkness. I'll put links in the video description below the video so that you can go out and hunt this down if it's something you want to give a try. All right, that's it for this week. I'll be back with another game of this probably in about a week. Take care.